Tree farming is more than just the trees. The trees are the focus, but in addition to that, you've got the total environment to deal with. So one of the reasons that we would leave these trees, we would girdle them and leave them, is that the wildlife will make a lot of use out of that stem before it finally just totally disintegrates. It'll start with insects getting into it. The insects attract birds, especially sapsuckers and woodpeckers. You've probably walked through the woods and heard that real hard hammering of the pileated woodpecker. Those birds will create voids in the trees, and those holes, if you will, then get used by squirrels, chipmunks, raccoons, owls. One of the things we have here that I can point out is this white oak tree here has been girdled. You take a chainsaw and you cut through the cambium layer all the way around it. Sometimes,
won't that kill this tree?
Yes, it will.
Oh,
and that is exactly the idea. This is a weeding operation, very similar to if you were planting carrots or radishes. You know, you put a lot of seed down, a lot comes up, and then you go through and pick out a bunch because you want the remaining ones to be able to grow tall and strong.
That's like culling, taking,
saving
the best ones.
This is a cull. We're taking this tree out to protect that tree there, that big red oak.
Now, so that tree is more valuable, a red oak, than a white oak?
Not necessarily, but that tree is healthier and is winning the battle between these two, and this one is subtracting from the growth of that tree. That tree will be harvested probably in the next 5 to 10 years, and so what we're trying to do is open up the crown so it can get its best sunlight and start putting more girth on all around it. These two trees are essentially the same age. You wouldn't know it looking at them.
Because that one is twice as large in diameter as this one here.
That's correct. That one's winning the battle. This one has suffered all its life, and leaving it here, it's not going to get much bigger. Even if I took that one out, this tree would not grow appreciably bigger. So even though it's a white oak and a wonderful tree, this one has to go in favor of that one. This is what's known as a regeneration opening. And the idea here is twofold. One, to provide a good site for oak regeneration, which is one of the things I'm trying to maintain in this woods, is a good oak component. Oaks need a lot of sunlight, and this allows them to have an awful lot of sunlight to get started and grow. The other thing is, as you look around, you see we're surrounded by mature forests. We have here in Indiana a group of birds commonly known as migratory warblers that fly through on their way to their home grounds in South America or wherever they're going. They will stop and nest in the tops of these trees and fledge their young. And then this opening provides a haven of insects for them to come down and feed, fatten up, and get ready for the rest of their journey. This is different from the monoculture that is a hay field or a cornfield or something like that. That is not a wildlife habitat at all. It is an opening, but it is not a wildlife habitat. So this will get used a lot by those migratory birds. And at the same time, the oaks will start coming up, and to the extent that I can suppress the deer herd here, hopefully those oaks will get up above the browse line and become mature trees. The private landowner is a key component to our forest industry here in the United States. Most of the lands are privately owned, and to the extent that they're managed, those lands remain productive working forests that do a lot of good for us as far as cleaning our soils, our water, our air, providing fiber, lumber products, even ice cream has cellulose fiber in it. You see that tall tree next to the thing? You look all around and you see we have lost vast expanses of land to roads, malls, cities, suburbs, our forests are being fragmented because a lot of people want, with good reason, that 5 or 10 acres to call their own. But to the extent they plop a house in the middle of it, clear out some trees, the forest proper becomes fragmented. And as it becomes fragmented, the entire environment changes. So one of the important things is to recognize how valuable contiguous forests are. You can have multiple owners within that, but you want to maintain the integrity of that forested land. It's so important for so many reasons. The other thing about getting into a love affair with trees, you have to change the way you think. Once you're out here interacting with the trees, you start to understand that it's not as important as to think about what am I going to do a couple hours from now, or a couple weeks from now, even a couple years from now. But what I do today impacts things decades from now and centuries. I like to say the difference between tree people and ordinary people have a relatively short time span of thought. You know? Tree people think in centuries, beyond our lifetimes. This forest will be here long after I'm gone. My hope is that it's in better shape and healthier than when I first got here. I love it out here. This is what I was meant to do. And I can't think of anything else I would rather do than working in this woods. I mean, I retired so I can do this. That's been a long focus